Okay, everyone. Hey, guys. Hopefully, you're having a blessed Monday, September 11th. As you know, guys, I do fast during this time, so been having a lot of good time with God. I know I throw some jokes in there and all that kind of stuff, but I want to make sure we stay engaged. That's all. But I was going over how God has blessed within this project, and I'm going to share a few things with you. Number one, Art Olivant and I, because now he is available, are going to be starting, there's actually going to be a consulting firm. This will be an EIN. This is just he and I. But most of you don't realize Art was one of the people that helped me start Diamond VIP. Now, what this firm gives you, if you want it, I mean, we're just going to be consulting, so there will be a fee because he's giving you professionalism that will actually get you linked up with banking, that will actually get you linked up in business. And if some of you actually listen to Mr. Penny, you would realize that it's not just Live Good, but Mr. Penny is giving in his video his actual experience franchising. So I don't really know what your dreams have been in the past, because I hear people say so many different things, and it actually makes me laugh. Because I'm going to be honest with you, the same person who generally can't find the courage to do network marketing potentially can't find the courage to be a franchisee either, because it takes courage, okay? And I sit and listen to people's qualms. I do. I hear everything that you have to say. I wonder why you've never asked the question why a guy sitting in a Porsche is actually doing something in network marketing where he really doesn't have to. I mean, it's barely gas money for me sometimes. I'm just being honest. It's not even about that. I mean, I take that back. I make more than gas money, but it's just laughable to me. I hear and watch people, and I do it really, if it were nothing else. These products and services are so good that I look at the money that I get kicked back as a discount on the services that I'm getting, or at least I'm free. I'm in the clear. It's just common sense. But you know, again, I've said it before, if common sense were truly common, everybody would have it. So we really should call it geniuses, because common sense is not common, right? Now, I'm 51 years old. I don't think I look the best, right, of anybody on this earth, but I know I look pretty good, right? And I know I don't look 51. And no, I don't dye my hair. I don't dye anything. I don't do any of that stuff. This is just the result of my healthy living. I do have some gray, but I'm not fully gray. And I haven't put in any type of concoction or anything like that in my hair. What you're looking at is natural. That's how my cells are reacting to the healthy lifestyle that I choose to live. Now, being a person, just like Dr. Stan said, you know, he counts the days now, and he makes them count. He's grateful for every moment, because you're actually dealing with two guys that almost died. One in 2010, and one, honestly, just a couple of years ago, guys. And I don't really think you realize how much favor is in this room. You know, I'm listening to James Penny, and he's talking about how poor he was growing up. And I think we always look for the woe is me. We always look for, because actually I started going through our stories, and Harrisburg, I actually spoke to a lady from Harrisburg the other day, Pennsylvania. I don't know why it just keeps reappearing. I guess I should do something with Harrisburg, but that's where Dr. Breakthrough's from. And you heard his story about how he was abused. I mean, how these kids were beating him up, and he could, you know, how he wanted to commit suicide. And, you know, I had thoughts of suicide. You know, the enemy had me believing before I turned 19 years old, I was going to be dead. So I don't know if you, for whatever reason, we sometimes, you know, can't relate to someone else's story because it's not us, and it seems like things are going good for them now. But do I have to remind you of what happened with Anthony Bourdain? It seemed like he was on top of the world, but he probably needed someone to come check in on him, and no one was doing it. So your mental health is very, very, very important. And I got a news flash for you. One of the reasons why I believe in everything, guys, trust me. I'm talking about from sound bowls to meditation, everything to get this mind clear. Some of you forget I'm actually a singer. So there's always music in my head. That's why I'm so upbeat and happy. But that's not how I started in life. I was depressed. I was very, very, very depressed. And I was abused as a child. I was angry. I was hurt. I really didn't have any middle whatsoever. And I'm reflecting because I want you to get a balance for where I was when September 11th happened. 22 years ago. You take 22 years off my life. I'm almost 52. I was 29 years old. If you would have told me, hey, B, 2 more years from now, you're going to go homeless, dude. Keep doing what you do. I don't know. I mean, if you'd have told it to me, to be honest, I mean, I don't know. I think those ideas of suicide would have come back if I would have known that that's what I would be facing. But because I didn't wait, I leapt. That was the reason it hurt us so bad when that promoter cheated us, because we were stepping out on faith. We were trying to step out as much as we could. I quit my job at Oxmoor Toyota. I was given that story. I'm not just asking you that question. I've just been having a lot of reflection time. And I guess because I just got off the phone with my best friend, DeAndre, who's actually moving out here in February, and he's making that leap of faith for himself. I was just sitting here thinking about how, you know, where his Hyundai story is the same Toyota. It's the same dealer group. They moved Toyota over to a larger building, but he's working literally at the same place that I was when my eyes saw those 2 airplanes go through the building. You know, I was at that big screen. I couldn't remember if it was a Monday or Tuesday. They just gave us a big bonus opportunity if we sell so many cars. It was a Tuesday, it's a 12-hour day. And I thought to myself, I was there from 9 to 9. And I thought to myself, man, I'm gonna make the day count, boy. I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna make $3,000 today. That's how I was thinking that Tuesday, September 11th. And here's the thing about me back then, guys, just so you know. And this is the reason why I tell you to work on your mind. I used to get what I needed from the dealership, and then my mind would escape. So there were some weeks I would make $5,000 weeks, $7,000 weeks, $10,000 weeks. And I'm not the only person. I had a friend, Don Thomas. He used to pray with me. He would do the same. Latad Bivens would do this exact same thing. And if you know who Brian Dawkins is, he used to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. His brother, Ralph Dawkins, worked with us, and Ralph would do the same thing. And there was another gentleman there named Jimmy Colvin. He would do the same thing. And I think of where we all landed. Where are we now? You know, Don is working at the Toyota of Louisville dealership. And last time I talked to him, he's making more money than he'd ever made. DeAndre basically told me the same thing. They're making more money than they ever made. But to be real with you guys, quite frankly, money isn't everything. And that's proof, because in both cases, neither man is absolutely happy. So I want you to hear what I'm saying. We can stay the course, but that course has to be the healthiest course for us, and it's got to be the happiest course for us. And to be honest with you, had I stayed working at the dealerships, I probably would be dead, because the hours were incredible, 13, 14 hours some days. And to be frank with you, I wasn't eating right. And the chances of my body exploding, my heart exploding, or my life exploding, I definitely wouldn't be married, because I had to choose my family in order to survive it. And so I started thinking about, I was just running down the list to DeAndre, and I was just being grateful and just saying, Lord, thank you. Hey, Bosha, thank you for my breath. How about that? Thank you that Brian is still breathing. I could be dead. Forget about looking good, feeling good. I could be dead and looking down from heaven at my family. But he spared me, and he gave me an opportunity to live out what I'm living now. And so my wife and I, we had a good conversation. We were talking about traveler's insurance and all these different things for my trip to Africa. I'm going to Ghana. But this week, I'm just telling you the week, I'm just laying it out there. Trenton and I will be at the Breathe conference. You're going to have Cuba Gooding Jr. there. I'm just telling you what happens when you leap. When you take that step, what happens? Cuba's going to be there. We're already connected to View It TV, the marketing program. Already sat down and talked to Mars Callahan for 4 hours, the owner. He put $60 million into View It. That's how serious this is right now. Now, you can go to other rooms, you can go with other teams, you can do other things, but you will never get the VIP experience. Remember, I told you. You won't get it. Because a lot of these guys have never had these experiences before. So when they finally do get wealth, the first thing you feel from them is isolation. And the reason you feel isolation is they're shocked to be in rooms with those people. The difference is I've been in rooms with those people. It's not that big of a deal to me. It's really not. Because unless we are engaging in business together, I'll get my autograph, I'll get my picture, and I'll roll out because I know it's all business. So I'm not worried about that stuff. I'm worried about me, my house, and how we can bless up and how we can bless someone else's house. And that's really the number one reason why I say you can do a lot of different things. You can go with a lot of different groups, but you'll never have this experience. This experience is intentional. And so I began explaining to DeAndre, yes, this week we're going to be at the Breathe conference. We're engaged in that conference, guys. It's not just us at the conference. I mean, you're talking about SMS token is going to probably jump up, skyrocket. I'm just telling you now, if you can buy some, you probably want to. You probably want to, because we know for a fact that there will be some engagement this week. I would just say that. I don't know what, but there will be some. No one can guarantee you anything, but I can tell you when you get out there and you start marketing and you're in a room full of like-minded people that start hearing your message, something happens. And so I get asked these questions all the time, but my job is not, steady your hand. My job is not to teach you every single facet of business. That's not my job. You're supposed to take some of the things that I say and grow from there. See, I'm not that type of leader. I'm not a leader that's just sitting here saying, I'm not dogmatic. I'm not an authoritarian. I mean, yeah, you can follow some principles and some things that I do, and that's cool, but I'm not here to be the end all to be all. If you have a clear idea, bring it to the table. I'll listen to any idea, and I'm not talking about somebody else's business or anything. I mean, I don't really care. If it really makes sense, the potential for us doing business is probably pretty high. Ask Chef Coco. Ask Tom Guyton, who contacted me and said that there's a big opportunity on the way for A-Ra. See, nothing that I ever did has really gone away. It's just, we're just in process, right? We had a tough time with COVID. It wasn't an easy time, so no business is just out there flying, right? Yes, we've had some disappointments. There's been some things but those disappointments don't mean nothing. They really don't. Because I'm always thinking that compound math. I realize that when I put my money into the right thing, the law of accumulation, right? Which is Brian Tracy, right? Increments. We're getting better by increments. You want to flood your brain with opportunities, because if you don't, I'm not talking about spending your money. I'm just saying flood your brain with opportunities and thoughts, because if you don't, guys, I'm trying to tell you, your mind will take over. And your previous self, the old you, will begin to just beat you up and say, you know what? Yeah, there we go. And you'll be constantly looking. If that's your